place for one. Subscribe to my content, helps me grow my channel, create more content. One. So this is an incredible day on board an R9T Scrambler, taking you to the most beautiful lakes in the country. As you know, Switzerland is the country that has the most number of the highest transparent lakes in the world. Most beautiful and untouched nature here that you would really be amazed and you would not believe it really exists unless you see it with your own eyes. Most photos will appear like as if they're photoshopped. Bike, sweet bike. What a beautiful day swimming here. Just put the key so we don't lose the key. As you can see, guys, I went with my R9T on this beautiful day to this lake in Switzerland to enjoy the last few bits and days of summer. So I strapped on some of my equipment, which is an inflatable boat, quite huge boat. It's like a canoe, but it's for two people and it's huge. Now look at the scene of the sunset. I'm enjoying the sunset at this beautiful Swiss lake because in winter it gets very, very miserable and lonely. So I charged the compressor that inflates the boat with the R9T. Look at these ducks. These are the only thing that bothers you in the lake are the ducklings and the swans. And some of these birds just come near you and say hello and things like that. Look at the sunset in Switzerland. The other side of the lake is other country. It's a really small, beautiful country. It's really heaven on earth. Water is very transparent. Reason being, I don't have a boat here because having a boat is very expensive. It costs you an arm and a leg to keep it here. So I have just a canoe for two people where I could just ride and enjoy my time in the lake. Look at this beauty. Look at this beauty. The R9T has never disappointed on rough terrain, on dirt like this. All types of environments and all types of riding. I took it everywhere. I took it to France, I took it to Italy, I took it to England, I took it to plenty of places. It carries a lot of weight, surprisingly. So if you know how to load it and you have a ratchet and you know how to strap things on it, it carries a lot of stuff. So usually I carry my boat, I carry a backpack which is large and another saddle bag which is really cool and a tank bag. So it carries a lot of weight, surprisingly, for a medium-sized bike. But this gives you lots of power, far more than the GS, because it's far lighter, easier to steer. When you steer the steering, or when you steer the bike, you steer the lights as well. Meanwhile, in GS, when you steer the handlebars, you don't steer the lights, the headlights. The headlights are stuck within the chassis, which is another thing. When you're in a very dark environment, it's much easier for you to see around. The other one gives you a bit of struggles. Of course, it has adaptive head control system, and this one too. So when you lean on the right side, it lights the right side of the road, left lights the left side of the road. So this is a small compressor I charged on the R9T in the USB socket, which helped me a lot reduce the time of inflating the boat. Otherwise, you would have been pumping till the end of days. So it has been perfect, really. Inflated this boat, took me a short while. Compressor ran out of battery, charged it again on the R9T socket, and it has been an absolute charm this trip. So I would really recommend this bike for someone that likes stability, likes calm environment, also doesn't like the heat so much, because you could really struggle with the heat if you have an inline 4 or a V4. This Boxer engine gives you this advantage that it's all an air cooled. So the cylinder heads also are far away from you. There's no fan that blows hot air in your crotch and grills your sensitive parts, sensitive bits, or any other sort of suffering that you might go through while being in a stop in a traffic light. Here there are so many traffic lights. One road could have 12 or 15 traffic lights. You go and stop, go and stop. It's made for pedestrians, as pedestrians have the absolute priority to cross the street. And each one takes, the order is pedestrians first, then it goes red. Then bicycles first, and then it goes red. And it starts again pedestrian first, and then the latest order is cars. So then cars and bikes go ahead, which is absolute misery. If you have a Panigale, I had one before, I have to turn it off and the traffic lights, because there's nowhere I would be sitting on this rear cylinder. Harley Davidson also, I had one and I still have it. It's impossible to have it on the rear cylinder, to keep sitting on the rear cylinder heads. It's just absolute misery. Look, it's working great here, charging the inflating the inflatable boat. Bought this one, it was a really good deal, and it's very convenient to carry around. It folds into a small backpack, not really small, but backpack that I carry on the R9T. And then I go with it everywhere in lakes here. The most beautiful lakes in the world are in Switzerland. I'll put up a picture on the right side of the screen and you would see the pictures and let me know what you guys think. I will take you to the last bit of the video to show you how is it like to row this boat in the lake. It's an absolute adventure. Stay away from the sun. Shit. Oh, scheiße.